In the last video, we saw how we could use the and the OR functions to evaluate multiple logical tests. While this is very useful, the one limitation we found was that both and OR simply return either true or false. Sometimes that may be what we want, but you'll find more often we actually want to do one thing or do another thing depending on that result. And the way we can get the full power out of and OR is to combine them with an if function. So for example, I have my AND function. It evaluates the two logical tests, but then what I want to do is wrap that within an if statement. So I actually build the if function around the AND function. What this will do is that the AND function will take care of the logical tests, returning the true or the false value that the if function wants, and then if it's true, the if function will tell us to do this, and if it's false, the if function will tell us to do another thing. And that is what we're going to look at doing right now. So back to the example we were looking at earlier. If our parents are in arrears and they do not have a payment plan, we don't want to simply put out the value false. We actually want to calculate their arrears penalty. And they're going to be charged 10% of the amount owing. So I'm going to double click into my cell and bring up that calculation. And just before the and, but after the equals, I'm going to add my if and open my brackets, hence beginning a nested function. Now, the logical test part has been taken care of by and, which is the first argument of the if function now. So, after the bracket for and, I'm going to type my comma to specify the next argument. Now, we're going to specify what we want to do if that and returns true. If it returns true, we want to take the previous balance and multiply it by 10%. Then a comma for the next argument. If it's false, we simply want to give them 0 penalty because they have no arrears. Now, I close my bracket for my if. That's really important because I'm working with nested functions. When you have multiple brackets, you must make sure you close them and just check that it's black. I'm going to press enter, and as expected, my first person was not in arrears, so they've got 0 penalty to pay. When I copy the formula down, you will see that our default over here has got to pay the 10% penalty. So that is how we can use our if combined with our and to get even more power out of Excel. Let's see another example. This time we'll do it with OR. So I'm going to come to my volunteer discount here. And the volunteer discount they're eligible for is $250. So I'm going to double click into this cell again. And just between the equals and the OR, I'm going to add in my if and open my brackets. Same thing as before. My logical test is already done, so at the end, I'm going to type a comma to get ready for the next argument. If that equates to true, they're eligible. They're going to get a $250 volunteer discount. Otherwise, 0. Close your brackets, click enter, and there's the $250 discount. And if I double click to copy down, all the values are calculated down the column. So, we've now seen how by combining the if function with our and our OR functions, we can create far more powerful if statements that will allow us to perform conditional logic based on more than one logical test. Thus, that solves one limitation with the if function, which is how you deal with logical tests. But we still have one outstanding problem we need to look at. What about if there are more than 2 outcomes? Well, I'm going to leave you to ponder that for now, but sure thing, we'll answer it in the next video.